Hi friends, it's Isabel. I'm your life coach, and my dream is to stretch your mind to see what's possible in your life and to get you one step closer to achieve it. Okay, so last week, if you remember, we talked about many things, but one of them was to visualize the person you want to become and to become very clear about it. And I gave you an exercise and a challenge to sit down and think about it and to write it down in as much detail as you could. Did you do it? If you did, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. So today I want to give you a different tool, and that is actually just an introduction to that tool, and that is vision boards. And I love hosting vision board workshops. I like making my own, and I love to hear from people who have come and received some of the things that they have put on their vision boards. So I just want to give you one aspect of why I use that as a tool. And that is because vision boards actually help our brain, right? We need all the help we can get. So our brain, what we tell our brain, we focus on, right? So I want to let you know about one part of our brain that is called the reticular activating system, or in short, RAS, our reticular activating system. It's pretty much like a filter. And if you can just imagine like all the things that you're bombarded with all day, right? We are in information overload, right? You read things on the internet, you read, you scroll through social media, you read articles, you hear things, you can listen to things. Like there's no end to it unless you pause and you put a stop in your day where you're not bombarded with information. I actually heard this morning that the information we get in 1 week is what people 100 years ago would receive in their entire lifetime. Think about that. The information we receive in 1 week is what people used to receive in their entire lifetime. So you can say information overload, correct? It's just too much. So we need a filtering system, and that is our RAS, our reticular activating system. I'm sure there's much more to it, but this is how I'm going to explain it, right? It's our filter that helps us to focus on what we need to focus. A very practical example is, let's say you're at a crosswalk and you want to cross the street safely. I hope you do. So your brain is not going to look at the dog walker behind you, or the store to the right of you, or the sign, the billboard ahead of you, or the whatever boutique on the left across the street. You're not going to look at that. Your brain is going to focus on cars coming from the left and cars coming from the right, and you are going to look straight ahead and walk across, right? You're filtering out all the unimportant things and just focusing on how you can safely cross the road. So you look to your left and to your right and ahead of you, right? So you can safely cross the road. You're filtering out everything else. There might be an airplane flying overhead, or somebody walking behind you, or a new store opening across the street. Your brain will not notice that, and that's a good thing, because in that moment you want to be safe, right? So I'm going to give you a few examples. Let me just start with a friend of mine who came to actually my very first vision board workshop. And I honestly don't know exactly what was on her board, but one of them was she wanted to remarry her. She was divorced, and later on her ex passed away, sadly. But she wanted to remarry or find the love of her life, right? So she put scriptures on her board and facts about this person, right? And how they want to live their life. And she just had all these visuals, right? And she put them on her board. And I think, I don't know how many months, maybe 3-4 months ago, she met somebody. And she reminded me of the vision board that she made in my house, right? And she was very clear to include, hey, don't forget I put scriptures on there. She's a faith-based Christian. And I just want you to know, she didn't just make the board and stick it under her bed, right? She went on a on a dating site. She was actively looking. She wasn't just, oh, this is gonna happen because now I thought about it. No. So there's a lot to be said about taking action toward that vision that you put on your vision board. You can't just just put it there and forget about it. That's why I love Terry Civil Foy, who says, you look at it every day, you think about it, you make goals, you write those goals, and as you think about it, those things come into your life because you're focused on them. And like the Bible says, right? As a man thinks, so is he. Which is the thoughts in your life are super important. And how do we imagine things? In our mind, right? I wish I had a good Einstein quote right now. I'm sure there is one. I'll find it for you. So another example is, I wrote some down. When you buy a new car, right? You might have not seen that model before, but all of a sudden you notice this brand of car everywhere, right? Like the first time, many years ago, we had a station wagon. I saw these all over the place. Why? Because it was in my mind. It was in the forefront of my mind. Or my son bought a trailer. Now I see those all over the place. That was a world that I wasn't familiar with, but now I see them everywhere, right? Also, I think it was about a year ago, next month in February, I went to an event, and they had drawings for gift baskets, and I won a Michael Kors bag, a handbag. Now, I don't buy brand name handbags. That's not my thing, but ever since I got it, I see them. I see the little logo, MK, right? I never paid attention before, but now I see it. And I even saw the same bag, same color, like in a coffee shop. I would have never noticed that before. That's your reticular activating system. Also, my friend told me, I notice birds. I do. When I go for a walk, I see birds. I notice them. I look for them. I guess I have trained my brain to look for them because I see them. I'm like, oh, did you see that cardinal? Did you see this one? Did you see that finch? She's like, huh? Now her on the other side, she finds feathers. I would have never noticed them, but she trained her mind to find feathers. Also, I like hearts. I hope you can see this. Okay, this is a little rock. Can you see it? It's a little rock I found on the beach, and it's a heart shape. Now, of course, not a perfect heart shape, but it's a heart-shaped rock. Why did I find that? Because I love to find heart-shaped objects in nature. Leaves, shells, rocks, anything, right? Even to the point where my daughter recently, we went camping for one night. She found a leaf and she wanted to give it to me. So even she's looking now. So what other examples? I think those are enough. You get the idea, right? So we're by training our RAS, it doesn't necessarily make the circumstances different or better, right? Let's say you might think, oh, this is just, it's not science-based. It's, you're just trying to attract things that are not real or whatever. My idea is that you train your thoughts, right? You think better thoughts, you speak better words, and you act better. Now, if you do that, the world would be a better place if we all did that. And couldn't we all need that right now? And I'm not going into politics, but couldn't we all need that, right? So think better thoughts, speak better words, and act like better people. How is that? So I also want you to know that I love helping you one-on-one in my coaching sessions. Until the end of this month, I have a $10 off your first session. Please message me if that interests you. And also if you have any questions about what I covered. But please So your one exercise you could do this week is to put something on your vision board, or just have a card and think of one thing that you would like to attract, and look for it, and then tell me if you found it. I know there's one lady my coach told me about. She lived in Southern California, and she said, I'm gonna do something horrendous, right? I'm just gonna say I want to attract snow. That wouldn't happen in Southern California, but she's like, I'm gonna try. And you won't believe it. No, it didn't snow. But a friend of hers sent her one of those snow globes, right, that you shake up and it has snow in it. And another friend sent her a movie that was filmed in a beautiful, filled with snow landscape. So you never know, right? It could show up in different ways, but be open to it, be aware of it. And that's another thing that I might talk about next week, how to be aware in the present moment. But for this week, your challenge is to find one thing, think about one thing that you would like to visualize and attract and receive in your life. So let me know what that is, if it happened for you, if it worked for you. But just be aware that the more positive thinking and focusing will help you to become that better you that we talked about last week. So do that one step this week, and I'll talk to you next week. Okay, bye-bye.